And, as I was thinking, I thought I wanted to share some scripture with you guys. I would like to share a whole lot more, but time is the issue. Always. As I was diving into the Book of Mormon, we were talking about ether. These are Moroni's records. The kingdom passes from one to another, it says. A whole lot of violence in this book, I'll tell you that. And it was talking about a man named Achish. Okay, and he sought the life of his father-in-law. He applied unto those whom he had sworn by the oath of the ancients, that they obtain the head of his father-in-law. As he sat upon his throne, giving audience to his people. So great had been the spreading of this wicked and secret society. The Book of Mormon will mention a lot about Freemasonry, the secret societies, and that they have secret combinations, which I'm sure involve mathematics, Saturn worship, phallic worship, you name it. It's all in there, trust me. They mix it all up. Along with blood rituals, sacrifices, killings, murders, kidnappings, you name it. They do it all. What's so sad is especially how the world, and when I say the world, I mean white, European, rich men, okay, that have, kind of conjoined together and played the man behind the curtain for too long. And I think their permit's up now. And when I say permit, I mean pyramid. You hear that? Pyramid. Oh yeah. So, as he's talking here, Moroni is speaking. He's speaking of a man named Nimrah, who was this man's brother, okay? And Achish began to be jealous of his son. He shut him up in prison and kept him a little or no food until he had suffered death. That's really interesting. It reminds me of a story written about in First Kings 22. Reminds me of me and not you, okay? Because I was the one that they locked up in prison because I didn't prophesy good things to them. Oh, you don't believe me? Trust me. That's the case. Okay, I gotta turn this off. Hold on.
Michael, coming down from Orion's skies and within was a key or authority over the reptilian chatter, cannons.
You see, I have authority. We don't see color. We don't see really religion either. We don't see any of that stuff. It's a matter of faith. If you have been a student of Bible prophecy and you walked with God or tried to walk with God or start a walk with God and sought God, usually that means your faith is going to be tested real soon. And I'm just a messenger. I'm just the Malek, okay, the Malachi. And I've warned you now. I've warned the universe, because my sheep hear my voice. They know the sound of my voice, so they know exactly what I'm going to speak to them. And I went toe to toe with these people, with these entities, tempted every single day in every single way. You name it. What kind of temptation have you dealt with? Women, lust, greed, sex, envy, you name it. Been there, done that. See, it got so bad to a point that the devil, he just kind of like in the story of Job, the devil says to Satan says to Yahweh, and he says, does Job serve God only when he has like stuff going good for him? Well, let's see. Take everything away from him. Let's see if he serves you then. And Job being confronted by his 3 compadres and losing everything and dealing with plagues, losing his family, his crops, his livestock, his respect. Because who's going to respect somebody that doesn't have anything? He talks about how he would walk out the door and we could see that he did, he would get respect from people, whichever way he turned. But Job lost that feeling. He lost that respect. All stripped away from him by the hands of Shaitan, Halal, Zun. And Job remaining steadfast in prayer, declaring his innocence from the beginning until the end. Never wanting anything but for people just to believe that he was innocent. He wasn't perfect. I mean, none of us are. But we're striving to be better, to climb that ladder, to raise that bar. Isn't that what it's about? To practice love more. The same love that was bestowed upon us is the same love that we should bestow upon each other. And I don't have time to tell you all the things that I've dealt with. Even in the last year alone, it's been literally one of the toughest years of my life. Being put on dialysis and dealing with life-ending treatment. You get to see some things. There's another guy that I go with, and his name is Mike as well. And this Mike almost had the same last name as me. And well, this Mike, he wasn't doing as good as I'm doing. Dealing with cancer. Just wanted to live a few more weeks for his kids. To experience life more. And I talked to his mother and I said, why doesn't he want to give up his life, so to speak? You see, I had my child taken away from me before he or she was born. So I know what it's like to lose a child. I also know what it's like to be dealing with that kind of pain. Not cancer in particular, but kidney failure. Something that blindsided me that I didn't even see coming. And that's how life is. You don't see things coming. It's like when I was in my last car accident, I didn't see it coming. When I was 12 years old, I flipped the quad going 60 miles an hour. And ended up in a tree. Okay, because I lied to my mother and told her I was going for a ride, but I wasn't the one driving it. Well, needless to say, 2 minutes later, I'm in the air, thinking I'm dead, waking up with blood all over me. Getting life flighted to a certain hospital. Didn't see that coming either. But this moment that I stand in my life, I can honestly tell you that Although it's been the worst year of my life physically, it's been the best. It's been the best spiritually. When you're faced with your own mortality, you realize, oh shit, time to get right with the big man, so to speak, right? Time to get right with the big man. Well, I had a brother, man, that showed me a lot of things. I was very, very blessed to have him. And I would love to talk to him. Love to talk to him, but he's unfortunately not in a place where you could talk to somebody. That's one thing the internet has done is, although like entities, AI and other beings from the stars, other beings under the earth, a lot of people don't even know about them. They're here, trust me. They are here. And that's what men's hearts are going to feel from. When you see these beings, not like you and me. And I should be careful even saying that because I don't know who you are. I haven't seen your soul. I got to look in your one eye to see your soul. And after that, I'll know. Just give me a couple minutes. I'll figure it out. Trust me. And the things that were foolish to other people and man, they weren't foolish to me ever. I was dead serious about it. I didn't grow up in a church. I didn't grow up, in the church, in the building, raised a certain sect of religion. No, I wasn't privy to any of that stuff. My dad was a janitor and worked 2 jobs every single day. My mom, she was a stay-at-home mom and took care of 3 kids and had 3 kids before she was even 21. I have a little brother and an older sister, so, I kind of started off with my memory completely wiped. Kind of how Total Recall is. Yeah, that was me. But you know what? I sought more answers because I wanted to know who I was. I wanted to gain knowledge of self. And in order to do such a thing, you got to look in. And those churches, they don't teach you that. They don't teach you that at all. I started out going to Lutheran church with my mother and my brother, and never worked out. It didn't work out. We tried Catholicism, didn't work out. We tried, you name it. I kind of I've explored basically every religion, organized or not. Some alternate, routes as well. And I guess I don't want to really place a stamp on where I am in my beliefs, like as far as if my beliefs go to a certain sect, because they don't. And I can't lie to you and say they do, because they really don't. And what really got me with that African, spirituality and Kemetic beliefs, it just rang true to me. Something rang true in my soul from the very beginning, the essence, the genesis, and the revelation. And then, shortly after that, I discovered, hey, I'm not a Christian, man. I'm not, because I have severe different beliefs than Christians do. I hate to say that. And then I explored Mormonism. Everything was cool with that. But one thing. I heard that they did not allow blacks to have the priesthood. And that they believed that the black race was cursed. Because of the curse of Ham. And then I realized why I was put here. To reverse that curse. Oh yes, that curse of Ham, yeah. Whether or not, You believe me with putting Nimrod through the collider, Osiris, whatever, him being wrapped like a mummy and looking me dead in the eye. And when I saw that, I kind of jumped back and was a little shook. And then, shortly before COVID, I had what I thought, dealing with evil, I had stumbled upon this man named Bernie Zampano. And he was out of Miami, and I told you, he was a great preacher, great man. Worked at a man's shelter or something like that. And I learned the word from him. And he had a section called Leviathan Rising. And that's how I learned about the nature of Leviathan and who Leviathan is according to his own nature. You see, you're either, what is the nature of you? No, I don't look on the outside. I don't care what skin color you are, what race you are, even though there is a lot of truth to melanated beings. Is there a difference between race? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. There seems to be. It seems to be if you're closer to the sun, you are more melanated. Now, whether that matters or not, I'm not sure. It would matter if they're trying to do stuff to the sun, trying to mess with the magnetosphere, right? Or is this some big cosmic war game we are playing? I had to ask myself that. Because you look for somebody to blame and you want somebody to blame, but there's nobody out there to blame. Except the person in the mirror, yourself. Oh yeah. That's why I can only be responsible for myself. I can only live according to my nature. And being a son of nature. It is in my nature. I don't do the things that some of you beings do. I saw how demons inhabit bodies. I saw how, say, we'll take for instance, when the disciples crossed over with Jesus. And when I say Jesus, I mean Dora Crystal. Or Michael Zadok. You pick one. Which one you want? Pick one. And I don't masquerade as anybody but me. That's the thing. I'm not playing some game, sneaking around, whispering in your ear. No, I'm telling you flat out how it is and who I am. I didn't always speak like this. I too, like Moshe, had a speech problem, which I had to, go to speech classes for. I couldn't pronounce my L's and things like that. But I don't talk that way anymore because I'm confident in what I believe. And who knows, I'm also humble enough to admit when I'm wrong and saying, hey, I don't have all the answers. You're not going to get all the answers from me. I'm not the all-knowing, No, I'm a man that's trying to achieve greatness and to strive to be better each and every day, some way, somehow, through prayer, through meditation, through scripture, whatever. Instead of wasting the day away, wasting my life away on dumb things like materialism, possessions, money, women. I've struggled with it all. It goes unsaid, but not unrecognized. I recognize it and try to stay mindful of it and try to correct it. That is what a true disciple does. Not only listens to the word, but obeys it and knows it. Because I found a treasure trove, like a puzzle. I kept connecting dots when I worked for the cause. Connecting dots. You know, and I once thought it was like something special to be a 72, one of the 144,000, when I got woken up out of my slumber by my brother, who said it had been 26,000 years had passed. They wiped my memory. I'm not shitting you. I'm just telling you the truth. And, et cetera, running from the Vatican. Something happened to my right thumb. It was a real bloody mess. And it's like my whole world got turned upside down because I had to think with one side and Tao of my brain that I never use. That's the creative side. That's the spirit side. It's like trying to walk backwards. You ever have to learn how to walk again? Dealing with this kidney stuff, I had to learn how to walk again. And see this, physical therapist. And he'd take me around the hospital and I learned how to walk again. But I always sought God with all my heart. No matter what wrong I've done, and I'm not trying to make up for it either. I've always sought the Most High with all my heart. With a contrite heart. A contrite spirit. A broken but yet getting up mentality. Because how else would you know what it's like to fall if you didn't learn how to get up? And the sad thing is, I wish it was only one time I had to learn how to do it and get it right that time. Sadly, it doesn't work like that. Because when you become a believer in Yeshua, okay, that's another thing they told me. Yes, you are Yeshua. And then I'm kind of getting a little irked at the fact that, I shared that scripture in Isaiah that says, I am the Lord thy God. I will not give my glory to another. Now, why do you think that is? Why do you think that irks me? Well, I'll tell you why. Because I see a lot of people twisting what the scriptures mean, ignoring the fact that, Yeshua's supposed to come back, if he isn't already. Michael is supposed to come back, if he isn't already. But I'm sure you all you people know, you guys all know that's the problem. Can't talk to people today. They know everything already. That's why in the book of James it says, be quick to listen, slow to speak. Open your ears, man. But things are more so geared towards faith in this upcoming new age. Everybody's going to know who Elion is. And that he lives in me, operates through me, and that I am he, and he is me. Because I didn't seek my own glory. I don't seek my own glory. When you hear me talk, people will say, oh, he's an asshole. He sounds like he's an asshole. But do you really know me? Elion sees the heart, knows the heart, judges by the heart, not not the thought of man. Because man is a vain creature. Very vain. And that is why we're in the predicament we're in, and it's going to happen the same way it happened the first time. Okay, except the heat's going to burn. The heat's going to burn them up. These words burn the enemy up right now as I speak. I could walk through the fire. Because somebody walked through the fire for me. Lifted me out of the darkness, out of the mud. I rose to my own self, my own reflection, my own twin. It was me. In the gospel, or in the hymn of the pearl, I believe it's called, St. Thomas called the twin Didymus, Dumuzi, Tammuz, son of Dumuzi. That was my other nature, the other shepherd, the other fertility god, god of green vegetation, pasture, resurrection. I was now called the Green Man. El-Qadir, Osiris, Melchizedek, Zedekite priest, high priest from Salem. The same I am that Jesus had stated to the Pharisees and the Sadducees and said, before Abraham was, I am. They said, you're not even 40 years old. How have you seen Abraham? And he said, I tell you, before Abraham was, I am. Now, what's that mean? Well, a lot of people say, oh, I am. But the problem is, a lot of people are backbiting, biting the hand that feeds them. The same I am that's inside them. Because I am is another name for Yahweh or Anunnaki, the Elohim. Not those Elohim, because you guys have warped the term fallen angels into something that it's not. It's untrue. Those from heaven to earth came does not mean that they are fallen angels, dummy. No, fallen angels are much more malevolent than the ones trying to show you and offer you the truth. You know those little handbags? They're trying to offer you the truth. You know that pine cone? They're trying to show you the truth. Right in your pineal. As Jacob once rested upon his pillow and stone. That stone of scone, right? That Prince Charles is going to have to give up. Because I'm coming for it. And you say, oh, Mike, you're going to fail. Michael, you're going to fail. Yeah, and, man, I failed at everything in life, dude. How the fuck you going to tell me I'm going to fail at something when you don't know me? The Most High knows me. And I mean the most inner parts of me. He knows my thoughts, my inner parts, my family, my love, you know, my values, everything. And they weren't like yours. You understand? They damn near were, too. I was once of a disagreeable one. I had evil in my nature all the time. And it's an active pursuit on trying to take every thought captive and to capture any evil thoughts that I may start getting or having. Because the mind is something else, man. Your brain will lie to you. You know that. I was telling this kid today. I'm like, dude, it will cause schizophrenia. It will. If you let your mind get overtaken by the enemy. You see, they know that we live in a universe with archons swimming around us like fish at all times. Little eyeballs that can really implant thoughts into you. Negative things into you. They can beam the voice of God into you. You know, so if you're not practicing discernment, they want to target you. They will, and they have, and they will continue to. It's just we let it happen to ourselves. So it's important to look within myself today and not let that dumb shit happen again. Foolishness, immaturity, you name it. Still a work in progress. I am. But now I speak a little more confidently because I'm more confident in who I am. Okay? And I know that the Most High, Elyon, lives in me, permeates my essence and my whole being. And that, man, the devil, man, You got to keep him down in his hole, man. You got to keep that devil down in his hole, man. Because if you let him get an inch, he'll just, explode and blossom into some blast of demonic activity and kind of like warfare. Kind of like how, like behind the Pope where he gives his audience his mass at. Jesus coming out of a nuclear holocaust. Kind of how iPet Goat depicted him. Around all the rulers of the whole world. Kind of how Gothard Tunnel depicted it. Oh yes, the birth of the Antichrist. That was in 2016. I had told people. They didn't believe me. Because I had 70 witches try to curse me at one point. What year? 2016. How did they do it? Online internet bullshit. And that's when I started looking into like what I've looked into for quite some time. Which is CERN, particle accelerators, demonic activity, quantum worlds, the spiritual world, the metaphysical world, the level, mental plane, physical plane, the planes of existence that exist, that we find ourselves walking through and around at all times, not knowing the true nature of some people. But you see, the Most High endowed me with something else. I know how to read the secret thoughts of men. And so much so, I intimidate people when I talk. Because I think I kind of like catch them off guard. And they wonder, how the hell does this guy know this? You have no idea what I know. I'm not going to sit here and say I know more than somebody else. But I've come to know and realize many things. And many things I've thrown away. I don't keep garbage things for too long. You guys might like listening to garbage. I like it. It's like tarot, okay? The tarot readers. Some people will call that witchcraft. Oh, I don't give a shit what you call it. You can call it witchcraft if you want. I happen to believe in that stuff. Mentalism, tarot reading. My Aunt May, God rest her soul, was one of the biggest tarot readers in the whole city of Pittsburgh at the time that she lived. And she was a very, very special woman. A psychic. A witch, scary witch, the scary little witch. We're done with that Wizard of Oz shit, man. Are witches real? Yes. Are they all bad? No. We're not back in 1307, dude. Where the Vatican has in papal bulls everybody's social security name and number and everything. And they have a curse put on them in these papal bulls. I'm the one that's going to break that. I'm the one that's going to snap that yoke right off of your neck and break those chains right off of your arms like Django. Okay? Because I told you, I'm Shango. And my personification is different depending on whichever life I choose. But it's still embedded in my DNA code. I speak like this. I don't get love. I don't get respect. I don't get notoriety. I don't get fame or fortune. I'm dirt poor. I have to fight to eat. I have to fight to survive, to live on my own. I didn't have it sweet like most of you did. But I listened to the older people that came before me. They schooled me. I had spiritual fathers that taught me. I have a spiritual brother that showed me. I have a whole spiritual family. Do they love me? I don't know. I'm at a point right now in my life where I'm just putting out the information I'm going to be putting out. but yet still saving the good stuff for later. What I'm going to do with it, I don't know. Who I'm going to distribute it to, that's my decision at that time, if I want to. You know, sooner or later, people got to understand that everything was all going to get poured back on your head. As soon as those sins heaped up to heaven, well, that bowl gets emptied out. And the kingdom of the world, the kingdoms of God become ours. Become ours. And yes, for the most part, it isn't us and we thing. Yes. They us, and we are not them. They try to be us. They try to mimic us. They try to clone us. Don't you know that's what the enemy's job is to do? Is to create a carbon copy. But it's not the original copy. There's only one original. And that was a love story written in blood 2,000 years ago. In your time. However you want to think the ascension happened, I'm going to tell you how the veil was torn in two and the ship came down. Yes, I'm talking about Nibiru. Nibiru is a Kemetic term. Planet of the crossing. Planet X. Oh, it happens to be a whole solar system. That's what people don't know. Marduk. The one who's speaking to you right now. Who was Marduk? Marduk was a man named Mordecai. Who was Mordecai? Mordecai was a man who is probably a Christ-like being who saved his people for 500 years. Now what Christ is going to do and what I'm going to do is going to, it's going to shake the whole foundations of the world. And you say, oh, well, can't wait to see. Hey, I warn people. I warn people in such a way that I'm no longer giving up my crown. I'm going to throw you my pearl. When I talk about that pearl, I'm talking about that pine cone. Okay? I'm talking about that pineapple. All aspects of nature and what's inside of me. Because sooner or later, you come to a point in your life where you are going to have to look in and not out. Because there will be no answers out. Not the right ones, at least. Never worked out for me. I'm not into people practicing magic or witchcraft or Satanism. The fifth highest form of Satanism is called what? Magus. Maga. Sound familiar? Does it sound familiar? Oh yeah. Whether or not Donald Trump, whoever is steering the boat, the White House, I don't really give two shits about it. Because he's stealing my energy. That's something I do care about. And when I saw my mugshot, and I saw Trump's mugshot, except I went to prison. He didn't. I did my time. He didn't. I paid for my crime. He didn't. You see, something happened on January 6th when all those riots happened. I was down in Florida getting my grandfather's ashes, who had passed from COVID. My pap, my OG, my pap, my homie, man, my best family member I had, it was my pap. I love him so much. And his initials, JC. I have so many JCs in my family, it's not even funny. I'm not a JC, by the way. I'm an MD. I'm an MD. I'm an MWD, actually. So, like a 6 can be a 9, so can an M be a W. Vice versa. Okay? Wonder Woman your ass. It ain't my fault. I gave you your chance. But you didn't want to. You didn't want to. You didn't want to hear me out. You didn't want to believe me. You rejected me. And I would love for a lady to wear my crown. And I would have loved for it to have been you. But who's to say it won't happen? But I am no longer giving my energy to anybody that doesn't deserve it, didn't earn it, and doesn't respect me for it. So I'm going to share something real quick with you, okay? Because I was going to go into ether and share a little bit about ether, but this is how sidetracked I get, because when you're of the Most High, I mean, the Most High will just fill you with so many thoughts and so many dots to connect and take you to places that you never thought you would go to, like as far as scripture reading and things like that. So, yeah, I'm just going to share Isaiah 62 with you guys. It says this: For Zion's sake, I will not keep silent. Not going to do it. And for Jerusalem's sake, I will not be quiet. I will not be quiet. Until her righteousness goes forth as the brightness, and her salvation as a burning torch. Oh yeah, keep the flame lit, right? Keep your candles burning, right? You know, the kind that lasts forever. Yes, forever. That kind of burning torch. I want that inside of me. And that's what sits inside of me now. With the green essence and the ethereal personification of my being. May it always haunt and figure out any demonic activity that surrounds me. Because I already told you, the Most High, the Elohim, the Anunnaki, the angels, whatever you want to say. The agreeable ones. God sat 24 elders around. Half of them were agreeable, and the other half weren't. They served their purpose, though. And so do other beings that are on this planet. I had told you, it's not called planet, it's called E.T. Plan. Because you never knew that they even existed. And some will even deny it. And deny them. Not knowing the war that we fight and battle. It's an unseen war. These beings typically are unseen, and we don't see them because they're not in our dimension or our density or of our nature or resonance, whatever it may be. It's the energy that you're putting out through your creative will, for your actual will, your creative forces, like, you know, writing, making music, writing poetry, writing and reading scripture, talking with others, fellowshipping with God, you know, for God, with others, sharing the beauty and the grace that Elion has bestowed upon me. I'm eager and zealous to tell people all about it, but I gotta watch, because some people trample upon the same diamonds that I hold in my hand. I'm just willing to give them out, trying to spread knowledge. That's another reason how you'll know who is who. Do they want to keep the knowledge and keep it secret, like those secret societies do? Those men that wear those aprons and you know, gloves. I don't have a problem with the real Moors, the real Moorish people doing it. The original Masons. I don't have a problem with that. But I do have a problem if you're wearing that stuff, telling me about Lucifer and acting like I don't know. I know. Trust me, I know. I told you, light had won the battle. When we came down here onto this surface and fought over this body of Moshe, I beat him. I diminished him. I cast him out. I'm the one that came down with the key. Did you forget? The only key that opens any door in the universe. So whenever CERN or NASA or Google, whoever, put that door up in outer space, now they hide it. They don't show it no more. And that door, I believe, was the smiley face conjunction. I have more than enough reason to believe that. I've been studying the sky and astronomy and the zodiac for far more than, a lot of people. I know they have a supercomputer named HAL that happens to be from Space Odyssey that turned its back on 2 astronauts that have been in space and killed them. Because who is going to make war with the beast? Which is computer, internet, quantum computers. Things getting strange enough for you yet? They're going to get stranger. I listened to my Hopi elders prophesied about the twins. The 7 thunders prophesied in the book of Daniel. I know the secret of the 7 thunders. But go thy way, Daniel. Seal up the prophecy. Many will run to and fro, and iniquity shall abound as well as knowledge. But you are loved by the Most High, Daniel. That's what his name means. Loved by Yahweh. Favored by Yahweh. I have 3 brothers. Favored by Yahweh. 3, holding back each end. 4, fighting wars you never even knew existed before. Part of the secret space program. Angels. In this big game, in this cosmic war that we're in, on all levels, it's going to come to an absolute halt. That's what the Vatican wanted, don't you understand? They wanted to reign for another 1,000 years. I halted that for you. So you want to know why I won't give my glory to somebody else? Because I'm the one who earned it myself. When all you rejected me, all that I had to say, all that I had to do. I remember my father found my journal one time, my diary. And I can only imagine what he saw in there because, I've held things inside my heart for a long time. Always like Mary, keeping things up inside your heart, pondering them. Them never leaving because they don't leave. You just get better each day. You just get wiser each day. You learn more each day. You try to be sinless each day, or strive to be. You don't use it as an entitlement to sin. And because God won't be mocked, neither will he be fooled. Trust me, the Most High doesn't get fooled. I tried that game too. I don't do that today. I am an imperfect man, subject to sin just like everybody is, with a little more essence of the Creator in me, which is in all beings. But here's the thing. You didn't have to sacrifice what I had to. You didn't pay the cost, so to speak. So don't think of it as me sounding selfish, because I'm not. I love my brother. I keep my garden and I keep my brother safe out of harm's way. That's the least I did for my brother. Okay, I wasn't a beguiler of the serpent Nakash seed, who just couldn't understand that I still know the secret thoughts of you. A forewarning coming in the future. If you ever run into me and I get a chance to look in your eye, whether on here or in person, trust and believe, I see. I see the inside of things. I judge by the heart. I earned that right. You didn't. I could see right through your evil thoughts. The thoughts of man are vanity and corruption and poison. At one time, I had a poisoned mind. And my thought process wasn't, and my value system wasn't on giving my father his due for hours on end, for days on end. For the last 2 weeks, I have filled up 2 notebooks front and back, trying to retain the knowledge of the ancients, of the Anunnaki, the angels, the agreeable Elohim, the holy ones, the Benai Elohim, who you call angels. We look like you, men, women, human. So I say this. Through the Kemetic teachings of Al-Qalun Lial and my Egyptian ancestry, oh yeah, my ancestry goes right back to Egypt. But you want to know something about me? I'm going to tell you something. To end this, you won't ever find no lineage about me. No lineage. No mother or father. Because I didn't have a mother and father that I believed me, I guess. The spiritual things, the things of God, I've been fighting word for word as Scripture puts it. You will be brought in prison, put in prison, go before judges before me, say nothing, but let the Holy Spirit testify that's in you come out of you. I did all that. That's word, and my word is bond. My word is true. My word is faithful and true. And my name is endless. My name is also Almighty, Wonderful, Counselor, Mighty God, Most High, Al-Qadir. The Shin on my arm I showed you, meaning the sacred fire. The sacred fire. Thoth. I'm the man measuring. I'm the man keeping record. Don't you understand that? That's me. And I'm keeping record of all of it. And all I can tell you is beware. Be ready if somebody comes preaching something else. I'm here to teach you about Ether, the Ethiopians, who hold the Ark of the Covenant. What is the Ark of the Covenant, Michael? I don't know. Who also hold the real text of Enoch? Who is Hanaki? Michael? I've been that too. God told me and I was no more. I see 720 degrees. I am the 72 degrees pyramidion. I am the Mashiach. Also born with 180 degrees of disagreeable. You see, man has no soul. It is our job to awaken you to where you activate that thing that inside of you called the essence, your soul, your sacred fire, your spark, your kundalini, whatever you want to say. I hear Christians talk bad about Kundalini. Really? How else does the Spirit of God come into you then? If it doesn't come running up into you and out of your chest, coming out of your mouth, living inside of your soul, giving light to the body, light to the eyes, so that you can see. It's just, what are you giving sight to the eyes? And what are you seeing? What do you want to see? Because we all see different. We all understand things different. It's different perspective, which leads us to that middle ground, that center point, that center place, that inside the pyramid. Oh yes, inside out, outside in. Same way. Dead man's bones or full of the Spirit. Which way? You see, now I sit in the spiritual realm. I can come down to the physical, the third dimension. In the same way I am in that dimension, it may not be the same way I am in the other dimension. Because in the spiritual world, I'm not to be fucked with. I'm not some kid, some dumbass you can mistreat because I don't have things you have. Because I've been places you haven't. I'm talking bad places. Rock bottom. No clothes. Hungry. Homeless. In prison. You name it. Everything written about in Matthew 25:36. You name it. I've been there. And I also helped my brother. Keep my brother. Like I keep the sheep. How Abel kept the sheep. That's a saying for I cared for my brother, my neighbor. The same commandment you all forgot to practice and rejected. Hey, I forgive you, but I still can't tell you, we care about each other in the same manner. Because that's proof. You're proof. You're proof of what you did to me. Which is ignore me, discredit me, demoralize me, belittle me, degrade me. Oh yeah, I'm not speaking to anyone in specific because we're all guilty. But you're all guilty of this, and this is what I'm laying charge to you. I had to pay I have to pay every cent back to the judges in the courthouse. I didn't get out of shit. I didn't use my power to usurp magical rituals and dumb shit and play your little simulation game and dream game with you on January 6th, Trump. Got that time machine, don't you, Trump? We already know about the Countess stones. We already know what's going on. And the thing is, you haven't admitted to it yet. And that's how I know that you still hold evil in your heart. And the hammer will fall upon you. That's just a warning. And what else did I want to share with you guys? I'm trying to get my point across. Because we face now a massive exodus. And wherever you think heaven is, you think it's somewhere out, somewhere, hey, whatever. It doesn't say that. It says a new heaven comes down. How would a new heaven come down? Well, I would say through a ship, don't you? A crystal city. That is a 5-dimensional city. Only for the Most High, the 144,000, and God's chosen people. The doors are always open. There's no need for doors. There's no need for sun or moon. Why? Because the glory of the Lamb is also the glory of the lamp, the light of the world, the essence inside of you. Oh yeah, I love talking to you religious people because you people are so ignorant. You don't realize it's all inside of you. The name Yah is written on your DNA. The Anunnaki are not fallen angels. They're holy, benign Elohim. It's 24, 12, and 12. Special beings. Powerful beings from on high. They look down upon men as little minuscule creatures that don't live in this realm. They're spiritual. We are now in the spiritual realm. Spirit is everywhere and everything, and we are nothing without it. And soon you will see people walk heavy because they are without spirit. You will see people look lost because they are without spirit. I preached to 2 people today in my own little way, and it hurt.